morning, Cedar River. Today is Friday. It is September 27th. Here are your daily announcements. It's Friday, so we have a 2:10 dismissal. I'm going to be quick with my portion of the announcements. We have lots to share today. We have our lunch menu for the week, Otter Paw Friday, what's going around the school, and a staff introduction. A few reminders for next week. We have Picture Day on October 3rd. Our third graders are going on a field trip to the salmon hatchery, and we have continued reminders about safety at recess. I know that 4th and 5th graders are taking a break from Foursquare, but what we're finding is a lot of pushing, shoving, and competition. And so my question for next week is, what is recess for? Why do we have recess here at Cedar River? And so I'm looking for your answers to share on morning announcements next week. Why do we have recess? Because right now, it seems that a lot of our friends come in from recess upset, sad, mad, or super competitive. And the last time I checked, we're not keeping score or handing out trophies for soccer games or Foursquare or tag. So I want to know, what is recess for? And how do you have fun at recess? Send those to me, and I'm going to share those next week. And here we go. I'm going to share with you what's on the menu for lunch. As always, it's a great day to be an otter, and I will see you here next week.
Good morning and welcome back to Cedar River Cafe. This week we have two special guests that are going to join me in our reading of our menu. Go ahead.
On Monday for breakfast we're going to have maple waffles.
And for lunch we're going to have cheesy pull-aparts.
On Tuesday for breakfast we're going to have banana chocolate bars.
And for lunch we're going to have chicken nuggets.
On Wednesday for breakfast we're going to have breakfast sandwiches.
Yum!
And on Wednesday we're going to have corn dogs for lunch.
On Thursday, we're going to have cinnamon buns.
Yum!
And we're going to have cheeseburgers on Thursday for lunch.
On Friday, we're going to have mini French toast.
And we're going to have pepperoni pizza for lunch.
Yum!
Hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Newcomer. This fall, you'll see me in the 500 building. I'm going to be Mrs. Rocco's second grade sub. And then in January, you'll see me in TK. Hope to see you around.
Hi Otters, we're here with our Otter Paws. I went to Salome and Miss Huizinga for reading a story and being a risk taker. Went to Logan and Miss Huizinga for showing leadership in music. Went to Krish and Miss Osborne for having great participation. Went to Eileen and Miss Gregson. Eileen is very respectful in the classroom and on the playground. Went to Bennett and Miss Landry for being a good audience in music. Went to Adrika and Mrs. Huerta for being a good audience in music. Went to Rowan and Miss Molnar for having a level 0 voice. Went to Davion and Miss Kovich for following lunchroom expectations. Went to Sophia and Miss Kovich for making good decisions. Went to Luke and Miss Molnar for being a rule follower, and went to Jerry and Miss Johnson for following directions.
And we have one to Aspen in Mrs. Campbell's class for asking for help respectfully in PE. We have one to Eliana in Miss Campbell's class for showing reading stamina. We have one to Austin in Miss Dommelsley for rules of moving in music class. We have one to Nyan in Mrs. Yant for squatting up in PE. One to Evie and Mrs. Pantel for following directions the first time. One to Silas for showing the O3s in PE. One to Eli and Mrs. March for Lion's behavior and being a role model. And one to Bodie and Mrs. Oliphant for being a good classroom citizen.
Nice job,
Great work, Otters.